Yo, what is going on, Goomba Gang, and welcome back to the video on the Feisty Goomba channel. And in this video, I'll be doing my Euro 2020 predictions as well as the results of my Euro draft game that I created. Basically, it's called Euro 2020 because they didn't rebrand because this tournament was supposed to happen last summer, but due to COVID, they moved it to the next summer. So if you don't actually watch soccer, I'll explain it briefly. Basically, if you know what the World Cup is, where it's international teams making up a tournament, the Euros are European nations making up a tournament. So yeah, I'm going to be doing the UEFA official website Euro tournament predictor, as well as showing you the results of the draft I did with my family and a friend last night, and I'll talk about that more in depth when I get to it. So yeah, let's hop into my predictions. Okay, here we are. And in full transparency, I've actually already gone through this completely and made my predictions on my own, just so that you wouldn't have to watch me overthink every single decision. So basically this video is just going to be me showing my thought process on all of my selections. So let's begin. Quickly, a quick explanation of what the group stage looks like in an international soccer tournament. Basically, for the Euros, there are 6 groups, each consisting of 4 teams. Basically, you do a round robin within your groups, and a win equates to 3 points, a draw equates to 1 point, and a loss is 0 points. So each team will play 3 games in the group stage, facing everybody else in their group, and then the top 2 from every group will automatically qualify to the knockout rounds, the round of 16, the first single elimination knockout round. And then the 4 best third place teams out of the 6 third place teams move on to the round of 16 as well. So basically, if you get 4th, there's no way you're advancing. If you get 3rd, you might advance, and if you get 1st or 2nd, you automatically advance. Kind of confusing. 3rd place, basically, you need at least a win. You need at least 3 points from what I was looking at from Euro 2016, because I think that was the first year they implemented this 3rd place thing. So you need at least a win, 3 points. That would be big. But 4 points seems to get it done like automatically, get you to 3rd place qualification if you're 3rd place with 4 points. But 3 points can get it as well. Goal difference is the first tiebreaker, basically the amount of goals you scored subtracted by the goals you've conceded. So yeah, here we go. Group A. I think pretty easily this is one of the easiest groups to pick as far as who's first. I think Italy will go first. A big thing for Italy, unlike past Euros where there's only been a host country or 2 host countries, this European Championship tournament actually is like across Europe. So it's kind of ironic that COVID happened this year because it was the most ambitious travel schedule as well, which complicated it even further. But I believe there's 11 different host cities and across all of Europe. So something that's big for some of these teams is that Italy plays in Rome, I believe, for all of their group stage matches. So that's big. And then I'll talk more about this later because it affects some of my selections. But both of the semifinal matchups as well as the finals are in London, so that's good for England if they get that far. Okay, so Italy first. Next, I think, is Turkey. I think they kind of might be a dark horse for this tournament. Not many people look at Turkey as a threat, but I feel like they'll do pretty well. They have a pretty well-rounded team. Switzerland, I'm putting 3rd. They have a pretty well-rounded team as well. I don't think it's as good as Turkey. They have Xherdan Shaqiri as one of their attackers. He's a Liverpool player, my favorite domestic club. Yeah. And then Wales 4th. This might be a little bold, especially since Wales made it all the way to the semifinals in Euro 2016, but that was kind of not expected for them to get that far, and I think their team has only aged and not really gotten any more talent. I mean, obviously they have new players, but like Gareth Bale, for example, he's now 31. Back in 2016, he was like in his prime at Real Madrid. Now he's at Tottenham, and he's still doing some work. I haven't watched him a whole lot, but he's definitely not where he was at 4 years ago. So yeah, that's my Group A. Group B, another one I think is easy to predict the first place. And again, I could be wrong, but this is what I think. I think Belgium would definitely go first. I think Denmark would go second. They're another dark horse, and I personally like them even more than Turkey, but they're kind of a similar, I kind of see them similarly with how they're both dark horses in my eyes and might do better than expected, but I like Denmark even more. Players like Christian Eriksen's big for them. Kasper Schmeichel is their goalie. That's big. Goalie for Leicester. His dad actually has an icon card in FIFA. And Russia, I'm going to put 3rd. Yeah, and Finland 4th. I believe this is Finland's first major national tournament that they're going to, and I just don't think they're really going to get it done. Russia does have some games at home, as well as Denmark, I believe. So that's pretty big in this group. Moving on, Group C. Netherlands, I think very clearly will get first. They have home games in Amsterdam, I believe, if not all three. I'm going to put Austria second. I think that's pretty safe. I like them more than Ukraine, who I'll go ahead and say is my third, and then North Macedonia is fourth. Austria's got players like David Alaba, who's defender and midfielder for Bayern Munich, as well as Marcel Sabitzer, I believe is his name, for Leipzig. I think he's usually a midfielder, but playing more of an attacker for them. Ukraine, I don't know a whole lot about them. They don't seem as well-rounded. And then North Macedonia, just like Finland, it's their first European major tournament, I believe. All right, Group D. This one's kind of interesting. I feel like England will pretty safely be first, and as we'll get to later, it might actually be better for them in their knockout stage to get second because of who their matchup is. More on that later. But Croatia, I think, is second. They were the runner-up at the World Cup 2018, mainly due to Luka Modric. They have other great players like Perisic and other good players, but I feel like the team has not gotten any better since that, and I believe that they had a lot of extra time or penalties to even get that far in that tournament, so I don't think they're going to do as well again. But I think they're second. And then this is difficult to pick. So Scotland, I'm actually going to pick as third, and Czech Republic is fourth. I feel like Scotland and Czech Republic are very close. What edges Scotland up for me is that they have some home games in Glasgow, Scotland. I think that helps them out a bit. I also really like Andrew Robertson, left back for Liverpool, one of the greatest fullbacks in the world. So I kind of also just want Scotland to take that third. So yeah, but that's an interesting group because all of those teams could take points off each other and force draws or do something interesting that's unexpected. So yeah, Group E, I think Spain pretty comfortably. Oh yeah, might I add, England. All three of their games are at Wembley Stadium in London, so that helps a lot for them. Group E, Spain. I think they also, all three of their games are in Spain. That's big in my eyes. Poland, I believe, is second. I think Sweden might have a more well-rounded team, but Poland has Robert Lewandowski, one of the greatest strikers in the world right now. So I think that edges them forward for me. Sweden, I believe, would be third. And Slovakia, I think, pretty safely is fourth. And then Group F, the group of death. We have the 2018 World Cup champions in France, the 2016 Euro champions in Portugal, and the 2014 World Cup champions in Germany. In 2018 World Cup, Germany didn't get out of the group stage, and I believe that, I think their coach's name is Joachim Low, or something like that. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly. I believe it's his last season as manager. He's led them to a lot of championships and probably wanting to bounce back after getting eliminated in the group stage at the last World Cup. So he's got something to prove. So this is the easiest decision. I know it's still possible that this doesn't happen because you never know. But Hungary, I feel so bad for them. They're fourth. They're fourth. There's no convincing me otherwise. I think France is going to be first. I think Portugal will be second, and I think Germany will be third. Even though that Germany has, I believe, all three of their games in Munich, I just don't think that they can beat France and Portugal. Maybe some draws. I don't think they can beat either of them. Whereas I think Portugal could beat Germany and maybe draw France, and I think France could beat everyone. So that's how I feel. Yeah, so predict the four best third-place teams. The four with the most points will progress to the knockout stage. So I think Switzerland gets it because I think they could get a win off Wales. I really don't back Wales. I'm sorry, I just don't really. I think I'm ranking them a lot lower than a lot of people. I just really don't see a lot in them, and I also think that Switzerland could maybe force a draw off Turkey. Then I have Scotland, which might be a little ambitious. They haven't been in a major European tournament since 1998, I believe, but I really like Andrew Robertson, and I think they could get a win off Czech Republic and maybe even a draw off Croatia, with it being in Glasgow, the game against them. I think Sweden, I I think Sweden definitely has a win against Slovakia, and I think they could tie against Poland. And then Germany, although it's very possible that they could lose to both France and Portugal, I think they're definitely winning against Hungary, and I think they're going to win big and have a good goal difference. So at the bare minimum, I think they have 3 points of good goal difference, and I think that would be enough, let alone they get another draw or something if they end up being third. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, knockout stage. So it's single elimination. You lose, you're out at this point. So we'll move on. Round of 16. So I believe Belgium's going to win this pretty easily. I also think Italy will win pretty easily. France, I think, will win pretty easily. Croatia, Poland is interesting. That's an easier, or a more difficult one, rather, to predict. I think Robert Lewandowski is an amazing player. I don't think he can carry the entire team against Croatia, who had the experience of making it far in a tournament in World Cup 2018. So that's why I think Croatia. Spain, I think Spain's going to get it done. Okay, England, Portugal. A lot of people have this as a round of 16 matchup, and I watch a lot of English YouTubers, and they feel like they're being biased, and they don't want to be. And when I've watched them pick England, I would pick Portugal, but something that I think makes me sway towards England is the fact that this game, if it happens, with this matchup, first in Group D, second in Group F, it being in London, I think pushes me to pick England. Like I was saying earlier about England actually having a better matchup if they finish second, that'd be against Poland if they finish second. Whereas if they finish first, they're facing someone from that group of death. So I don't know. I don't think they're gonna throw, but it's difficult. Yeah. And then Netherlands, Germany. That's a tough game. Maybe if it was in Germany, maybe if it was in Netherlands, it'd sway me to that home team. But I think I'm gonna pick Germany just because they're gonna have something to prove off of how bad they were last international competition. And I think I might have picked Netherlands if Virgil van Dijk was healthy. In my eyes, the best defender in the world. Plays for Liverpool, but he's been injured since October and is out for this tournament. So, yeah. And as I said earlier, I like Denmark more than Turkey. So there we go. So, quarterfinals. Belgium, Italy. I think Italy. Oof. I do think Italy. I think that they have a good mixture of experience as well as young players that are doing really well and are in form lately. I think Belgium's team's a little old and might not be able to pull through this late into the stage. But I could very easily see Belgium beat Italy in this game, and it's in Germany, so nobody has home field. But that's a very difficult one to pick. This one is a rematch of World Cup 2018 final, but I think France is pretty easily going to do it. Spain, England. Difficult. It's not in London. I'm going to pick England because I like Portugal more than Spain, so I'm not going to say they're going to lose to Spain. So, yeah. Germany, Denmark. I feel like that one's pretty easily Germany, but you never know. Semifinals. Italy, France. I'm going to pick France. I think that I feel good about France. England, Germany. That being in London, I have to pick England, honestly. So we're to the final. And I know that this one's in London, but I'm going to have to pick France. I think France is going to win Euro 2020. I believe that only one other team has won back-to-back major European competitions, and that was Spain in 2010, 2012. Maybe not those years, but close to that era. When they had Iniesta and Xavi. Yeah, really good team. But I think France can do it. That's my Euro 2020 tournament prediction. And yeah, now I'll quickly go into that draft game I was talking about earlier. So let me quickly shift gears and go to that Google Sheet. Alright, so here we are. Goomba games, if I just do Goomba. I decided to, usually in the 2014 World Cup, 2018 World Cup, I don't think I did it for 2016 Euros. Maybe I did, I don't remember. But 2014, 2018 World Cup, I did a thing with my family where we'd pick who we thought was going to be the winner, and we'd do a draft. And this year I had 5 people with just my family, and then I added a friend to make it 6 people. And so that meant that each person had 4 teams, and I thought, oh, that's not great depth. And then kind of after in my eyes, only the top like 8-ish realistically have a chance of winning. Like, I think, not like Denmark, Croatia, not like those teams can't, but I think below Netherlands, it's not as realistic in my eyes. And the odds show that too. But especially when you get down to like Hungary, like, I know you never know, but they're not getting out of that group, let alone winning the entire tournament. So I thought what would be more fun is if we did a snake draft, and we would do it based off your entire 4 teams that you drafted, their performance. So I devised this point system. The group stage, you are awarded points just like you would be in the tournament with group stage. Round of 16 win gets you 5 points, quarterfinal win gets you 5 points, semifinals win gets you 5 points, and a finals win gets you 10 points. Because I still want to reward the team that has the actual winner. But yeah, and then I devised basically when I was figuring out the scoring system, I went off Euro 2016 to see what would be best, and I did a draft based off of the odds before the tournament, and it confirmed that I thought this would be the best scoring. So basically, I always get the first pick in fantasy football. I don't know what it is. I always randomize it. My family, my friends give me a hard time and say I don't, but I do, I promise. And whenever I showed everyone on the call last night and randomized it, and it landed on the number I was assigned, and I had first pick, I was like, come on, you gotta be kidding me. I picked France, just like I did my tournament prediction. But I knew I wasn't gonna get a pick until like pick 12 right here, because it's snakes, like, woo, like that. So I ended up going with Austria, then Poland, and then Slovakia. I was forced to have Slovakia. I didn't really want to have 2 teams in the same group, but I was kind of forced. And I got my brother with England, Switzerland, Turkey, Finland. My friend Austin, Belgium, Croatia, Sweden, North Macedonia. My uncle Jason, Italy, Portugal, Russia, Hungary. My cousin Mason, Germany, Denmark, Ukraine, Scotland. And my dad, Spain, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Wales. My dad and I are the only people that actually watch soccer consistently, but we really only watch Liverpool, and everybody else pretty much only watches like these big national tournaments and nothing really else, if that. So yeah, I'm going to probably do a reflection on my predictions and also show you the standings and who won this game and who got second and so on, because we put in money, and first place gets money, second place gets less money but still gets money, so we're playing for something. So I'll probably do after the Euros end, because I believe it's June 11th to July 11th. So sometime in July I'll do a reaction to my tournament prediction as well as a reaction to this draft game. But yeah, basically that's it. Thank you all so much for watching and hear me explain myself as I talk about my favorite sport, and hopefully this video will get you to watch the Euros. It's super fun. I highly recommend it. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I've been Feisty Goomba, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.